Hello and welcome. And it has been some time since I've done a like this. With my new laptop, I find it very hard to make videos to try and upload them. So the next best thing, do them live like this. And today, quite a number of my friends are going to one of the biggest municipal parks here in town. They're going to bend the knee. I'm not joining them, and I have my reasons for why I'm not joining them. When I first heard about the idea of bending the knee, I thought, well, maybe it's not such a bad thing, but then I started to look into it, and then I started to think, well, no, it's not such a good thing at all. And that's what I think they're missing out on. And I believe in my heart of hearts that the fight against racism is a very important fight. Go to any demonstration that is demonstrating or any that is an anti-racism demonstration. And and I will, not literally, but I will fight fascists and racists because I do not like fascists or racists, or I don't like what they stand for. And for me, racism is born out of ignorancy, an ignorancy of your own race. Because the more you look into your own culture, then you start to see that it's made up of different races. And, I believe in multiculturalism, and multiculturalism is a good thing. It's always been a good thing, right throughout the centuries. Here or in any country, it's the mixing of races that has made, not just the UK, but any country, the country that it is. We are better because we have got multiculturalism. There may be problems within multiculturalism. Different groups don't get on with each other for different historical reasons. I believe in the idea of multiculturalism, and I believe in fighting racism. And the fight against racism is an ongoing fight. It's one that we must fight until we've won. And that is my way of looking at things. The only way of fighting racism is by uniting and being united, and fighting all forms of racism, not just the types of racism which might be in the media, but wherever we find racism, we must fight it. So that is very important. And the thing is that I would agree with a lot of the ones who have gone to the park today to do what they think is a good thing. I would agree with them because they share the same sort of thoughts and ideas as myself, in that we would agree that we have to make a united front and we have to fight racism and xenophobia wherever we find it. And on many different issues, I would agree. I would agree that we must create a united front and find ways to, bring different communities together. Um, you know, but I don't agree with what they're doing today. I don't agree with what they're doing today because I don't think they fully understand what they're doing. And even if they're doing it for the right reasons, and you believe that it's the right reasons, I don't believe that it's going to do any good. For me, equality is one of the most important things that we can have on this planet. Whether it's equality between men and women, different races, whether it's between disabled and non-disabled, gay, straight, bisexual, or different religious groups. For me, equality is at the key, is the cornerstone of everything. It's something which I believe wholeheartedly in. Balance is very important. As an artist, talking as an artist for a moment, I have to have a balance between light and dark, between one tone and another, so that when I create a painting, harmony, balance is very important. And in our world, it's very important to create those same sort of harmonies and balances. And equality is one of the most important things. The greatest way to create equality is to say, well, you're my equal. I'm equal to you, and you're equal to me. I see you as my, brother or my sister, and that is how you create equality. And you try and find ways to create equality. I won't stand up for good reasons. Because I'm sitting down, but there's other reasons why I won't stand up either. But I do believe in equality. I don't believe that bending the knee has anything to do with equality, and I don't think it will be good for the long-term fight against fighting racism. And no doubt this evening, some of the people who have taken part in this demonstration today will be posting up pictures of them bending the knee. I don't think that it's a good idea. I watched somebody else's video on this, and that got me thinking about this. About whenever you see somebody bending the knee, And I can think of many occasions. There were only 2 occasions when I think I would bend the knee. One of them is to propose to the person that I'm in love with. And, i.e. to bend the knee for marriage. Not that I think I'm never going to be that lucky to be in that situation, but that would be one of the acceptable reasons to bend the knee. The other acceptable reason to bend the knee would be in front of God. And whether you believe in God or not, that would be my any other reason to bend the knee. To humble yourself before God. Because it says in the Bible that a person who can do this, who can humble themselves, will be honoured. But in medieval times, and we can look this one up, you had to bend the knee in front of your king or queen. Going all the way back to Saxon times, this is what you did. And it had nothing to do with equality. It had everything to do with showing superiority and your place within society. Because whether for, it's like today, if you're getting the knighthood or you're getting an honour from the Queen, then you have to bend the knee. You have to become one lower than Her Majesty. And so it was the case in medieval times, so that's what you did. Whether to become a serf or to, I think even higher ranking nobles would have to do this to show that the monarch is above you and has power over you. It's to submit your will and your power to somebody else. And even if the modern movement has tried to change the meaning of what that means, it still has that meaning, with the exception of the changing of certain words, like gay, which used to mean happy, which now relates to somebody who's homosexual, or the word, I think that even if this modern movement around this has tried to change what it means, it's still going to have that meaning. I have been watching, or attempting to watch the whole 9 films of the Skywalker saga. And what you'll notice quite a few things. One of them is that the good guys are always the multicultural side, and the bad guys, on the whole, a load of white people, with very little ethnic diversity. But one of the other things that you'll notice is that all the Sith bend the knee because they have to show their place within that society. And even in the very first film, and I'm talking about the very first film, I'm talking about episode 1. Queen Amidala, one of the first things that she does when she comes to making an allegiance with the Gunkins is that she and everybody bend the knee to show that to humble ourselves, because of course up until that point, and of course there's always been that sort of conflict between these two races and Naboo, because of the fact that the humans think of themselves as being superior to the other creatures living on the planet, like the Gunkins. But you see, this is just it. It's a symbolism of power. It's not, it's a symbolism of one person's power being higher than somebody else's. And as I've always understood it, in medieval society, if you didn't submit your power before the king or the lord, then you became an outlaw, and you were considered to be an outlaw in society. So, this is just it. This has nothing to do with equality, and it can never be about equality. And how can this be used to fight for equality when we're trying to still have one-upmanship, as it were? I don't see what good this will do in the end. I think it's going to do a lot of harm, and I would quite happily turn up to any other demonstration, but I wouldn't go along to something like this because I don't believe in it. I believe in equality, not in doing something which has nothing to do with equality and is about, subduing yourself to somebody else's rule. And it doesn't matter who does it. It doesn't matter who does this. I don't see it as being a good thing in the end. When I talk to people and I treat everybody the same. I don't treat anybody differently. I could meet a famous person and I treat them the same as the person down the street. I treat a homeless person the same as myself. I don't see, I obviously I see differences. And those differences are important, but as best as I can, I always try to treat everybody the same, so that I don't put on airs and graces, which I think is what some people do, or they have mentally in their head different ways to treat different people. To me, everybody is my equal, and that is why I would not do anything like this, like what some of my friends are doing today. And I respect the fact that they want to fight racism and they want to see an end to racism. So do I. But I think there are better ways to do that. Let's try and build relationships within communities. Let's try and find ways to get past differences. Let's reach out to people who feel alienated or, who don't feel as though anybody's standing up for them. There are other ways of fighting this, other than doing something which has, here we are in the 21st century, and we're still dealing with frugalism, which ultimately is what this is. It's a frugalism. We're still worrying about class. One of the, perhaps in a lot of ways, one of the most divisive things that there is, everybody having their place within society, and that's frugalism. And this symbol of bending the knee is about frugalism. It's something which my mum would have understood. And she said about knowing your place, and that's what this is about. It's not about equality. It's anti-equality. The only time that I will look down on somebody is when they're homeless. When I'm handing over money to them, or I'm, helping them up. It's the only time when you should ever look down. When you're having to look down. I don't mean, I don't mean seeing myself as being better than them. What I mean is that the only time that I would ever look down on somebody is when I'm handing them the money, or I'm helping them off the ground. And that, recognizing that person as being, part of the same human race as myself. But I don't believe in such symbolism. And I don't see what it's going to do. I think it's going to do a lot of harm, not good. And it's not, I do understand the reasons why some on the left are doing this. It's because of the people who have said that they will not bend the knee. So then, therefore, everybody rushes out and starts doing this on the left. Well, I'm not a racist. I'm not xenophobic. I'm not going to engage in doing something which I think is harmful, which I think is going to undermine all that we've tried to work for. I see, as I said, people as my equal, not as anything else. And I no doubt see these pictures this evening and be horrified because, it does nothing to sort out the problems that we have in our world. And that's what I wanted to say in this short video. And that's about it. Thank you. Goodbye.